Good morning. Today is actually not going to be a photography day. Today is in fact a tech test. Lovely morning to do it. It is the morning of the first snow on the ground in Manchester, so what better time to go out and test some filming equipment and see how it does. So today I am trying out the GoPro Media Mod, which is essentially it's a little add-on around the GoPro that gives it a microphone. It also gives it ports to do various additional things. You can get like add-on lights and that sort of thing, but you know, generally speaking, it's just the basic stuff. The reason I'm trying it out is because this is actually about 12 ounces or 300 some odd grams lighter than my M50, and I think also the added stabilization that this camera affords me would be, well, to be honest, very beneficial. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of try it out. Use of the GoPro for a primary vlogging camera actually has more than just one benefit. Besides being lighter, which means I'm able to carry it for longer, I can bring it up the mountain with me. I mean, the damn thing is almost a pound lighter than my other camera setup. So if the mic works out, then everything's kind of hunky-dory, you know? So, you know, it's more stable, it's lighter, it's nicer. It also is going to produce footage that looks a whole heck of a lot like this unit, which means that when I'm in the editing mines, all I have to do is apply the same color correction to both units, and my cameras will look pretty much identical. Probably not exactly, but very close to identical. And if we're being honest, you know, if you had told me when I started this channel back in like 2018, or at least the photography vlogging portion of it, because I think it technically existed before then, but point being is, yeah, if I had been told that I was going to be using a GoPro, I would have told you that you're crazy, because it would have been terrible quality. Now, that being said, there are some things that I don't get on this camera that I kind of wish I had. The first thing I wish I had on this that I don't, depth of field control. Like, never mind anything else, this lens is at a fixed aperture, at a fixed focal length, and the reason why you can change the apparent focal length is it's just cropping in, which is not great, but the sensor is sufficient that I can shoot in 4K, which allows me to recompose in post, so I can zoom in on myself if I so desire, which is nice. That's a good feature, but you know, I am limited explicitly to what GoPro gives me, right? And yeah, there are lens attachments, but they're not going to be the same as getting a different lens, right? I will not pretend that this footage from a videographic, photographic, like, standard is 100% better than footage I was getting out of my M50, because my M50 has a 18mm 1.4 Sigma that is just a really good lens, right? And on that same note, my exposure controls are extremely limited. So I basically have, I can limit the ISO, but I can't like manually set it. I can set the shutter speed, but that requires the use of ND filters, which I am using, even in this kind of lower light situation, which is not the best in the world. So I guess what I'm saying is, the problem with the GoPro is that it's not a camera, and the problem with the camera is that it's not a GoPro, which just about sums up all of my problems, is that I want both. I want the light and portable nature of a GoPro, but I want the ability to change lenses and aperture and do all these things. I can't even get a like exposure reading out of this. There's no light meter in this GoPro. I can set exposure compensation, but there's no light meter. So it's very kind of tricky to tell what's wrong, what I need to do, and I just have to trust that it's going to give me a good exposure. I can't as easily overexpose an image like I would with my M50, so that you can see my lovely face. So yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate, but I think the benefit being that I will use it more often is definitely worth the added trouble. At the end of the day, the best camera is the one you have on you, and I'll be honest, I'm getting tired of lugging the M50 around. It's becoming more annoying than it is productive, and so it would be really nice to just have something that kind of works, for lack of a better way to put it. And that's going to be this GoPro, hopefully. And it'll increase the amount of in the field vlogging. So I think it's going to be a good benefit overall. Well, until next time.